Ahoy, Laylovers. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Welcome. We're talking a little bit about anime. I was recounting for the lovely folks who are here live that part of my week has been rewatching an anime series called Overlord. The basic premise of which is like a dude who spends like all of his free time like running an MMORPG build and being like the most maximized, overpowered version of a character in that possible. Instead of like the RPG game is getting shut down, instead of the servers just being shut down, he gets like shunted to a magical world where like he's basically still like level 100 overpowered, and like the most powerful people in the world are like by comparison level like 10. And I was just talking about how I just think that show is so funny. And Demotion said, you ever wonder how you'd be in that situation? Would you let that much power go to your head? And I actually think it's an interesting question because I've often been known to say that like I should not be trusted with like superpowers. Like if I got like a regular like super villain level of power on Earth in the context of my life, I genuinely feel like it might push me towards just super villain instead of superhero. Um However, I think if I was the level of powerful that Momon is in Overlord, I don't think I would for a second question that I would use it for good. Like like I mean, it's funny. Like his character was like this horrible, like arch lich, just like this necromancer skeleton guy. And so, like, there's like a side effect where, like, because he is now technically a lich and not human, like, it kind of messes with his emotions at times. But like, even so, on this like conceptual level, he's still like largely angling this fantasy world that he's slowly conquering towards justice. And like, I feel like I would be doing exactly the same thing. I think that's part of why I like the show so much. It's very cathartic that like there's all this like obvious like fantasy corruption in the world, and then like he just shows up and he's like, you know, like level 7 lightning bolt, kill like the entire like faction of criminals all at once. And they're just like, that literally shouldn't be possible. And it's like, yeah, that shouldn't be possible. It doesn't make any sense. Um Rook says, I think you would get revenge you deserve, and then you would try to make other people's lives better. Yeah, that's, you know, that's probably pretty close. I'm not saying that I would do nothing self-indulgent. That would be dishonest. But like, I think that's pretty fair. Is like I would be petty about certain things, but I don't think I would fixate that on that for very long. I think I would transition very quickly to like, and now I'm just gonna like casually dominate the world with justice. um, is the isekai genre overtaking anime too much? I'm a little dialed out on what's actually like big or popular in anime. I was like starting to get the pulse of it again during the pandemic, and then like, you know, stuff like life just happened. Um, but like it has been very popular. That's true and fair. Hello, Justin. You're here on time as always. Also hello to anime. I think I greeted the folks who were here before I started ranting. Hello all. Thank you for being here and welcome. Also, I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but I did just watch episode 1 of season 2 of Severance, and that wasn't what I expected it to be at all. I'm struggling to mentally comprehend that. It's just so very different from anything that I thought it could be. It's very interesting. Yeah, I don't have like a ton going on this week. It's been a lot of me trying to like catch up on work. Um, it has been difficult. Unfortunate update on I'd mentioned last week one of my coworkers, like I just sort of abruptly found out she had been like hospitalized. Apparently it was serious. I think she's like stable, but she had a heart attack and has to have some kind of bypass. And I haven't gotten an update on that in like a couple of days. I do hope that that turns out well, because that's scary. And one of my friends in LA who was affected by the fires there, I think last week I had already had the information that he had lost his house. He got interviewed by Variety, and so like I know more information on that, even though he's mostly like not able to respond to people because he's got a whole lot of life to deal with. But yeah, I mean, life is in a weirdly similar place to what it was 7 days ago, at least for me, for better or worse. Uh, yeah, I mean, I definitely, no one cares, but I'm definitely slowly but surely getting caught up on that work I'm behind on. Getting caught up on work in my current job is a challenge. I really won't bore you with the details, but like, there's logistical reasons why, like, falling a certain amount far behind is actually just as bad as being a little bit far behind. So like the fact that I started the year in like not a great place is just sort of like manageable, but I'm gonna have to push through it for a little while longer. For me, I'm watching Grizza Phantom Trigger anime and debating whether to rewatch Magical Girl Lycal Nanoha or Symphogear. I don't know any of those. I feel like I have not seen enough Magical Girl anime. I generally like the genre. I mean, I grew up with Sailor Moon to some extent. I really like Cardcaptor Sakura, and I really like Magical Girl Madoka, even though I don't know if that technically counts because it's like very deliberately sort of anti-Magical Girl in the most fascinating way. Jackie says his cousin had to evacuate. Lives in Brentwood. Oh, right near the Getty Museum. Yikes. Yeah, my friend who lost his house used to live in Brentwood. I think his house was in Altadena. I never saw the house that got caught in the fire. I mean, there was a photo of it with the article, and I sent it to my mom because she never met him directly, but like she knows of this guy. I've talked about him before, and she said like it's remarkable how similar that house is to the way yours looks from the outside. I'm like, I know it is weird. It makes me unsettled. Doja said, I think I had about 20 minutes of work this week, and next week will be 10 hours. Man, that's rough. I mean, I'm all for the like 20-minute work week. I've had a few of those in my life. But like I would not be thrilled with that in exchange for a 10-hour week. Those are always bad. You have a 3-day weekend. I also have a 3-day weekend, which I'm really not like thinking about. It's funny. My sister is visiting. She like won a raffle or a contest, some kind of drawing, to do some like cool exclusive thing at Disney World. But it's like a real like whirlwind trip for her. I don't actually know if she has Monday off, but I think she like left Seattle this morning to get here not crazy long ago, like a few hours ago. And like she's doing that thing like early tomorrow morning and then leaving tomorrow night or Sunday morning. I don't remember. But like it's like sort of tentatively softly there's like a tradition that my parents and I have done in like recent years because like January is when like the show The Traitors like premieres sort of, and so like we usually take that first 3-day weekend to like get caught up on it and like complain about how bad everyone is at the game Traitors because everyone is really bad at Traitors. But like I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna pan out. I'll probably like go over on like Sunday and part of Monday or something. Ketero, the stream would finally have a sibling stream. Have you seen this room I'm in? I mean, you kind of have and kind of haven't. There's not co-op ain't happening in here right now. Also, there's like no time for that. Madoka Magica is considered magical girl. It just falls into the depression side of the spectrum. That feels like a fair analysis of that. It's all the way up in northern San Francisco. Yeah, a few of the people I know, actually, a lot of the people I knew in Northern California have also left California. A lot of people have left California. It's a very expensive state. Was that Juice Apple? Yes, this is 100% Juice Apple. Actually, I don't remember what the label here at Publix in Florida. It's very very similar to the old 100% juice apple. I don't know that it has the same stupid label though. I've stopped processing it mentally. I'd have to check. Maybe if you remind me later, we'll do that. But I think for now we should probably start playing a video game. So let's do this and do this. We're gonna try to be very conscious about how we use the sticky notes app because I think that has been causing OBS some consternation as of late. Parents have hijacked your Hulu account to watch all the shows they never could. That's mostly fun, right? I mean, the only issue I ever see with like sharing an account like that is like it can like mess up your progress on something if you're both watching the same thing, and it can like mess up what it's suggesting you if you're not watching the same thing. So I'll admit that like I have been on my like dad's Netflix account for like untold years, but like when I started using it, I just made like a separate account, and it suggests only like weird anime and like superhero stuff. And then if I ever go over and see what my parents are, it's like all like period dramas and like high production value like dramas that I would probably not watch on my own. And it's like, see, we're keeping the terrarium separate. I don't know why that's the first word that came to mind. So let's continue Lorelei and the laser eyes. Can have multiple users now for those cases. Yeah, Netflix has been able to do that for probably close to 10 years, if not longer. I feel like roughly 10 years ago is when I did that, but that's what I mean. Like the multiple user is what I mean with like I'm using his account, but I have like a separate thing set up. Currently only murders in the building, and when an episode's over, you gotta hit the next button. Is that because you're both watching through it at the same time? Okay, what is it's not on the computer. I need personal history? Personal history. Where did we leave off? Just give it a puzzle box exhibition. I think. Yeah, I think we like started the last stream somewhere around found the magician video cassette. That sounds right. Okay, so this game is notorious among the people who have been in and out of streams as being like impossible to understand the stories. So the best resource I've found for this is this weird dot matrix printout that tells me all the important game actions I've taken and timestamps them. Actually, no, wait, there should be a concrete cutoff for where the stream started, right? Because it actually keeps track of the date, which is mildly unsettling to me. Okay, so we found room 1957, sure. Unlocked shortcut, delivered, script pages. Oh no, the reason for the date change there is because because the stream went past midnight. Okay, so we did, I think we started around, like, found the magician video cassette, because that was, like, we did something for Renzo, and he was just like, look, a VHS of a wizard. And then, so we found, oh, that's right, we found the last script page, because one of the maze-headed guys caught up to us, and, like, forced us to do the memory game. And when we submitted the last of the 9 pages, Renzo, who had been typing in room 1963, invited us in. And then when we went in there was a skeleton and a bunch of script pages just strewn about. Yeah, we like got up real close to his body and examined his right eye, and it's a laser eye. So we now have one singular laser eye. Then at the start of, I guess we started the last stream by opening the puzzle box exhibition. We finally opened the room that's like across the hall from the astrology wing or whatever that like I just like couldn't process. But like because somehow the name like Renzo and Lorenzo kept coming up in rapid succession, I like finally figured out how I was supposed to open that room that I like could have done very early in the game. but it wouldn't have done anything for me until about the time I opened it, so it worked out fine. And then we found a bunch of little like puzzle boxes that were similar in shape or pattern to these various like rooms that are identified by a year number. We've been like getting keys to from the quiz club maze in the other side of the mirror in the room we're actually in presently in our save file. So like I used information from puzzles I previously solved and had nothing to do with that information to open puzzle boxes. Those gave us like weird like excerpts of our own future life, us being Lorelei of the laser eyes. And that information could be told to the elderly version of us staying in our hotel room, so that her laser eyes would show us weird shapes in space that are gonna be important later, I promise. So we started that process of like solving some of the year rooms, taking that information to the puzzle boxes, opening the puzzle boxes, using the clues from the puzzle boxes to get stuff that we'll remember for later in our mind inventory that just doesn't mean anything to me right now. So when we realized that's what we were doing, I went back to the question club maze, answered a bunch of questions, got a bunch more keys, went to the various year rooms and solved those puzzles. Then we spent an inordinate amount of time with Demolition trying to get me involved in the Black Magic Coffee Club, which involves reading a sign, having a brick thrown at us, using that key to get into a room that's not important, and then Renzo telling us that we can spend $10 US to have unlimited coffee at dispense from any espresso machine in the hotel. It will increase the frequency with which we need to pee. That's like the entirety of this page, which leads up effectively to the end of the last stream. So like it doesn't sound like much, but we actually got like a ton done, right? Like roughly 80% completion. I don't know what that translates to in time. But yeah, so I mean here's where gameplay starts for future Vasco's purpose here in this room. So if we go through this mirror, we go into one of this game's 2 mazes that we know of. We can go, you know what? I actually do want to go in this maze, I've decided. So I know that there are at least 4 questions I haven't answered in this maze, and 3 of them I don't think I have the information in my possession to answer them, and one of them I know I do, and I've just completely lost track of where that guy is because it's a big old maze. Now I was thinking during my own recap, which I would strongly discourage you all to do, but so in that room where we got our first laser eye and there were a bunch of script pages strewn about, at first I just ignored them. But then when I came back for some reason, I like checked the pages on the ground and I kind of expected them to be the same ones that we had submitted, but they weren't. They're all like haphazardly numbered. And I didn't actually read them because there was a bunch of information to take in. Goodness gracious. Do we really want to read through 10 script pages though? It occurs to me, though, that, like, there could very well be, like, important information in here. Like, one of those questions was something like, how many of them were walking with tattered clothes and gnashing their teeth, or some bizarre thing like that. Didn't always have your laser eye. Listen, my favorite tweet that I've made since starting this expedition is that, like, at some point, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago, someone asked me, like, so do you have laser eyes? And then, like, because of, like, this nonsense that's been going on most of the game, I was like, yeah, I have laser eyes. I haven't really figured out how to control them or what that means, but, like, obviously I have laser eyes. And then I, like, found a laser eye, and I was like, so I was wrong about a really fundamental... Someone asked me a really simple question about this game, and I was fundamentally wrong, and I don't know how to process that. So I don't know how important these script pages are. Do we want to do this now, or do we want to do the maze now? What do people feel like? Because like these probably all should happen. Do we want to do a dramatic reading, or do we want to like wander aimlessly through the maze? Missed that segment. Yeah, it's tough to keep up with Lorelai and Laser Eyes, but let me tell you, if you want to see all of the things that have happened in Lorelai and Laser Eyes, everything up till now is on YouTube. I literally got 0 hits on the second stream from last week, which is impressive. Even I don't usually get that low. Okay, so right? Okay. We've mostly been everywhere around here. The trick is just... So are you... I think I should be going this way. Let's hang left from now. How am I myself? I'm doing okay. On a whim, I bought some like break and bake Reese's cookies that I made for the first time yesterday. They came out like way better than they had any right to. That was exciting. Experiencing some like random back pain as of like this. No, like most of today, if we're being honest. Most of today. I like woke up weird. I took some medicine before the stream, but like I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be an extremely rude awakening come Monday, or perhaps more realistically Tuesday when I rejoin the world after whatever it is I end up doing on the free day. Peanut butter ones with chocolate in them? No, actually, just straight up Reese's peanut butter cookies, no chocolate involved. That was like, the packaging didn't imply chocolate, but I still wasn't sure. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I was a little surprised. There's just so much maze to this maze, you know? Hey, Keen, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? It's just like a, hey, are you the guy? Mr. Yamamoto? Play safe and never pass, the most annoying animation in the game. Yeah, this is the guy. I know this guy. At what street number does Yamamoto live? Alright, allow me my contemplation, brother. This telephone directory, I think it's like 67 or something. Yamamoto, 62. Oster 62. Truth above all. 62. Correct. Snap. Masters of the Universe. So I'm thinking I'm going to find a key in here, because I'm only missing one key. Hey, wait a minute. Is it just always doing that? Okay, I don't know why these all interconnect in that way. I'm just gonna hang left. There's so much... Oh, have I already been here? Did that do nothing? Oh man, I really thought finding the Yamamoto guy would find me that one key I don't have. And then like all the other ones would be like some sort of endgame thing. That was really my working assumption. I did get one more? I need... I mean, I haven't gotten one today, if that's your implication. I need like 1953, I think. Do we get Albuquerque? I mean, I've absolutely been Albuquerque at some point in this game. In terms of answered quiz questions. Oh, I mean, sure, but as far as I know, that number isn't in and of itself meaningful. I need that key. Now, the trick is, the key feels like the most obvious way to make progress, but even if I get that key, go in the associated room, solve the puzzle there, open the puzzle box, give that information to my future self, get a laser clue. That doesn't actually, like, do anything? I mean, I could presumably go down to the supercomputer and start trying to figure out what those clues mean. I think most or all of them pertain to the supercomputer, which I think is probably like the end boss of sorts. But like, yeah, I mean, I know there's the thing is the position I'm currently in is that like I am aware of multiple things that I need to do. However, I lack the sufficient new information to like do any of it. I already have you, yes. I don't know how significant the weird quotes that all the strange women of the maze have said while giving me keys are. I forgot how I started that sentence. I've been watching a lot of, like, while working, I've had on the background a lot of, like, explaining, like, weird, obtuse horror. I don't know why. I'm not really big on horror in general. I'm not, like, completely opposed to it, but I definitely tend to like bizarre or, like, psychological type horror to, like, slasher, gory monster stuff. And, like, a lot of the stuff that, you know, people, like, really get invested in, like, franchise and stuff is more like that. That kind of reminds me, they released the first trailer for the Until Dawn movie, and I'm shocked that, like, I would watch it. Because, like, the whole time my assumption is, like, they're just gonna make a movie out of the, like, true ending of a game whose purpose is that you choose the ending, and that sounds stupid. Like, I love Until Dawn, and that sounds dumb as heck. But then they were like, no, we kind of just, like, took the vague concept of what's cool about it and made it something entirely new, and it actually sounds interesting. I'm game. Speaking of weird horror, R.I.P. David Lynch. Definitely, man. I mean, I couldn't remember. I feel like within the last, like, 2 years or something, one of the last things I'd heard about David Lynch was, like, he had some, like, major health complications. So it wasn't, like, the hugest shock that would, like, culminate in him, like, eventually passing. But, like, still kind of feels out of nowhere because it wasn't, like, yesterday that they were like, oh no, a bad thing happened. Maybe they do a Clue movie thing. So, I mean, you can look up the trailer. The trailer gives this much away. So, like, if you don't want to know, like, mute the stream. But, like, it's not a huge spoiler because it's just the premise of the movie. But I've prolonged this activity for long enough now, so I'm going to say it. The concept that they went with for Until Dawn is basically, like, it sounds like it is time loop plus cabin in the woods. Of, like, the teenagers are in, like, a weird environment and they make a choice that leads to some specific bad horror scenario in which people die. But then some, like, strange mechanism, like, resets things and they make different decisions and a different bad thing happens to them. I'm literally just, like, lefting my way around the entire maze. But I actually think this is a worthwhile use of time. I know it seems really stupid, but the idea here is sort of like, by doing this, I've made it so I know that I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't know about that. I do love my Wendigos and the flamethrower guy. Yeah, I think there were, like, a bunch of comments on the YouTube trailer being like, there better, like, still be a Wendigo in there. I will say, you know, he plays the like, therapist. I forget his name. He's this, like, weird Russian ominous character actor. And he plays, like, the narrator in the Dark Pictures anthology. That guy is in the movie, which is good. He's, like, the only thing that unites the movie in a strict sense. And I mean, I do imagine that at least one of the scenarios will be, like, you know, like an overt nod to like Wendigos or something. It just seems like an obvious thing to do, to like touch on the property it's named after. But like sincerely, like I thought that like I would eventually see that movie out of spite because it would be stupid, but like I'm legitimately interested in it. So I'm impressed. Able to pass or perish. How many statues stand by the Minotaur below the red maze? What? What the heck? Is that something I could answer? Allow me my contemplation. So, like, I have maps. I don't like that feel. What's the thing that's most alarming about that is it feels like I wouldn't have a document that would reflect that. Maze looks like a giant QR code. It does. It actually looks like 9 QR codes stacked together because I have 9 pieces that represent the maze all in my inventory. The fear of death obstructs truth, my brother. I also didn't think I was here. What's your deal? Gamble to pass or perish. I hate that. Oh, hang on. What year is MCM LXIII Charlie XEX? Okay, hold on. So that's 13. L is that's 1968? That's 1968? Is that right? Because like M's 1,000, C is 100, C before M is 100 less than that, so 19, and then L is 50, XIII after L would be added to, so 1963? What happens if you try to scan it? I would guess it doesn't do anything, but I don't know. Let's see if I can find a door nearby. Because I don't have that much confidence in my Roman numerology. I have no idea how many Minotaurs. And I'm mad about it. Okay, that's not a door, and I came from there. Do I kind of know where I am? I think the door I started in is around here somewhere. I seen Delicious in Dungeon? No. I know of it. I don't really know what it is. Okay, I do kind of know where I am. There's no actual need for me to save, considering that I'm very close to where I started, I'm pretty sure. But I'm still gonna do it, and then go say 1963 to that guy and hope he doesn't shoot me in the head. Hey, Neko, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, you've missed the super convenient recap mechanic that I found in the game. And so, well, welcome back. You probably will understand about as much as ever. How are you doing? I hope you are well. So it's not you, and then I go past these guys, and then it's like somewhere around here is like 2 more guys. This might be right. Nah. No. Nope. I'll say this. We have exactly 1 laser eye. Or maybe we have 3? I don't know. Maybe I don't understand how any of this works. We have somewhere between... No, not between. We have exactly 1 or 3 laser eyes. Not 0. Which one are you? I hate this animation. It's the worst one. I hate this guy. How many journeyed in silk robes and tattered rags and gilded wagons and bloody souls? Alright, I'm gonna skim my script pages for a second. I have this, like, weird sense I'll find it in there. I mean, why would I, though? We'll visit these later, maybe. No, wait, am I? No, I'm looking at the wrong ones. Third eye. Comet. Red monster? Oh, yeah, this seems bad. Young brother. Septimus. Does someone just like... Because, like, the brothers in the quiz club are the ones who, like, ask you these questions. It'd be funny if one of them just, like, said their riddle on one of these pages. Boy, oh boy. This is some sort of thing. Oh, there's so much directed paragraph. What the heck? Good owl girl and telephone voice. What's crossed out? Okay, skimming these provided little of value. Hey, buddy, I fear death. So, okay. That guy is here. Then the dude who asked me the Roman numeral question is... somewhere around here? It's this guy. Worst animation. Okay. Just gonna check my math again, because I'm not good at this. 1,000, 100 less than 1,000. 50 plus 13. So, 1963. I think 1963 was the typewriter room? Blip. Thanos snapped himself out of existence. There was just $1 here and I'm mad about it. That's not what I wanted. Thanks, I guess. Oh god, how much of the rest of the maze is this? I know I'm missing a bunch of money from here. What is the... not this one. Not this one. Don't I have something that, like, tells me... Oh no, it's on the computer. I have to go to the computer to check that information. Okay, so that leaves... Is this guy's thing? Minotaurs? How many statues stand by the Minotaur? Is that like below the red maze? I don't know what that means. Fear of death, brother. You got the note I need. I don't know. I don't even know what that means, Demolition, but I appreciate the implied gesture of goodwill. And maybe we'll need that. I don't know. When you gotta read for that. Well, I'm not sure. It's fine. We'll approach that bridge when we come to it, which is sort of definitional, I understand. Oh, it's so bad here. Which one are you? I hate Sip. I just hate it. I somehow came back here. That's a good sign. Are we talking about the Minotaur? Is that written down? Do I definitely have that? I feel like I would remember a Minotaur. I like those. The gilded... Do I have that? I definitely don't feel like I have the gilded thing. Okay. Don't know. Okay, that's fair. Which one in particular are you? Right, revolver door. I forgot about the revolver door question. Also, I forgot about the revolver door. Hang on, I'm gonna get out of the maze because I don't think I can progress at all. Okay, I knew the door was close to those guys. I just had to stop getting lost. Okay, very productive first half hour, I would say. Actually, no, wait. Run statistics. There are 6 more questions in the quiz club? No, that's... Yeah, and I'm missing 3 quiz club dollars. So, I think it's reasonable at this point to assume that 3 of the remaining questions lead to American dollars and 3 of them are progress. Ugh, I don't like those odds. So every question answered in the quiz club, regardless of anything else it produces, is worth 0.2% progress? Okay. Mental notes. What is left to do since I can't get that key? Call about... Okay, I mean, I guess I could call about puzzle box. I don't think I'll learn anything I need. Let him out of his imprisonment. But I don't know... I don't think I figured out anything else about our older self that would let me answer the riddle of the prison. Do I? No idea how to unlock the revolver door. I can't reach the center of the quiz club. I don't know what the deal with the Roman numerals is. I don't know how to determine, presumably, what years those all is. 1953 is the 1-year door I don't have a key for. Roman numeral. Roman numeral. Roman numeral with 5 letters. Where is that? I might know what that one is. Relative to the years we've seen and how most of them are in like the middle of a century. I have an educated guess if I can figure out which one has 5. Which I don't even think I can find the doors, to be honest with you. Photographic memory maps. I mean, I just wish the map had, like, a little more notation. I wish it was a little closer to, like, the Silent Hill 2 remaster map, which, like, makes relevant notes when you, like, find important stuff. East Vestibule. I mean, okay, here's what I will do. Because there's like one of these doors is way easier to get to than the others. If I can remember how stuff works. I have to get to... I don't know what to do. Very spooky. I'm glad not to be like chased around anymore. That's fun. Hey Necker, you might like this. Now I have coffee walking powers. Coffee walk is an underutilized Magic the Gathering mechanic. Second floor? If your opponent is drinking coffee, your creature is unblockable. Are you 5? No, you're like a bunch. You're one of the ones that'll be harder to figure out because that's like a very normal number of like Roman numerals. Okay, so photographic memory map second floor. So I am there. There's a printer on the other side of this door. How do I know this? So the other room that I could feasibly get to, that I can't actually get to on this floor, is like 1953 or whatever one is locked. So I'm looking for just like all the locked doors. They're like all in the basement. 1, 2. There's one in the loft. No, isn't that the revolver door? I want to say that's the revolver door. So, am I crazy, or is there not 4? Aren't there 4 mental notes? Room number with 10, 8, 5. I haven't done the grave thing yet. Still don't have that stupid letter block. Oh, there's... Huh. So there are only 3 Roman numerals. So then I have to get to... That was like a weird number of Roman numerals. So then I have to get to cellar. Cellar's like the hardest one to figure out, man. So nope, the elevator isn't. You can't get there from here. So then I need. Doesn't the does this right door let me out? It's a supercomputer. It's very stupid. That's the prison. And like, inspect the photo. I mean, it's like future me. Very tedious. You're not gonna like it when I put this in. Lorelei? Would have been very funny if that worked, though. Okay. So this does not do what I want. Okay, great. Let's go up to the first floor. Okay. Taking an educated guess here. MMXIV 2014. Because it's one of the years that's like important, and also it's a relatively small number of characters. Okay, that worked. What does that do for me? The clock ticks, but the hands are still. Move them. Just kidding. No. Thanks. I'm actually proud that that worked. I'm kind of downplaying it, but like that felt smart. Pool table. Balls have been placed in the triangle rack, but the 1, 8, 4, and 7 balls are missing. Okay. It's the cube! I've wanted this so badly for so long. Quite a treasure I have here in this Herodric cube. Alright, this might let me do something cool. It won't, but it might. What was the... was that year that like kept repeating? It's in like a bunch of documents of some type. 1847? I think 1847 is the one that kept repeating. At one point it said like, yeah, so just like as a casual example, like 1847 when like translated into a time would be, you know, like 647. Luckily I'm like extremely bad at analog clocks. Six, 30, 35, 40, 45, 6, 7. Educated guesses! Oh, no, that looks like I didn't win. Reasonable guess, Signorina. Did I want that? Strange, is it not? One might think it's broken, Signorina. But here time itself is broken, it flows mysteriously. Right now, it is always late by 5 minutes. What does that mean? Is it like Langoliers in here? This information is, as all information, a secret weapon. Use it wisely. The clock is always late by 5 minutes. I don't like that phrasing. The clock is late, meaning that its number is too big. It's showing 5 later. That's such a strange puzzle. The fact that, like, you do it right and they're like, yes, that was correct, but now off put it by 5. Like, that's very weird. Aw, sick. Now I have no idea which of the horsemen is attached to this horse. So let me go do some stuff. I'm so proud of it. Like, I figured that stuff all out. I didn't have to, like, go back and, like, read every document in the game and no one told me nothing. I just figured that stuff out. Save. I was thinking about it. I feel like I wouldn't say that this game is of the same level of difficulty that Quern was. Quern was a game that actively would rather see you die than play the game for some strange reason. But, like, this is definitely not a casual puzzle game by any means. So, Sword Horse is connected to the knee bone, which is, which one is Sword Horse? Bellum. Actually, I suppose I probably don't need that information because the coins probably just show sword on them. Getting a middle one seems like a big get. Uh-huh. Sword coin. I can't advise you to invest in sword coin. I think it's probably a Ponzi scheme, like the vast majority of cryptocurrency. And so the other thing I want is to like go what's the quickest way to get where the block goes? I always go through this door instead of this door. I think there's no. there's some place I can go up and then just fall down, and it would be easier than being smart. I think it's like here and left. Okay, don't have to be smart. Alright, now I remember that I need the J side of this block. Fames. Speaking of, multiple state pensions are now investing in Bitcoin. I read a thing today that, like, Donald Trump expressed interest in, like, having the government invest in some type of cryptocurrency. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great for everyone involved. Cool, I got the Fames coin. It doesn't accomplish as much as I had once hoped because I now understand how difficult it is to use the coins, but at least I crossed the thing off my to-do list. So I'm gonna have a heck of a time with that prison Polaroid, huh? Roman numeral 10 letters. I feel like 1963. How many did that end up being? MCM LXIII 8. That's one of them, right? The fact that the game sort of like primed me with like a 8-letter Roman numeral that's a year feels like I should probably try that, especially considering that we have confirmed that like random relevant dates from our doors are like potentially good accurate guesses. So I think that was the one that I swear I have to find like multiple billiard balls. And I've seen like none. Thank you for asking, but no. So I wanted to go to the elevator. I wonder if there's something that's meant to give like a really concrete... I mean, maybe it's just that question in the maze that's supposed to point you to putting in like good years. M C M yeah, L X I. Well, that'll do. Interesting. I'm over here now. Voltage shortcut numero dos. Photographic memory books. What is X plus Y? I feel like this shouldn't be that hard, but it's like the abstract. It's the idea. Hold on. 70, 80, 50. No, they don't necessarily add up to a thing like with like 180 degrees, which it wouldn't necessarily do, but it doesn't necessarily follow regular angle maths. I mean, I would think that like normally I would think like X is 0 here. Richard says, I still think it's a scam, but I wonder sometimes when it was so cheap. I found out about mining late. I mean, I'm sure everyone, or mostly everyone here, has seen that like meme image that has made a ton of rounds from like an old like StarCraft tournament that was like I don't know, like first place got like $50,000 and like $10,000, and then like third and fourth got like 5 grand, and then like 6 through 8 got like 20 Bitcoin or something like that. And everyone's always like, wow, weird prize structure, man. X plus Y. How do I, like, what do I use to determine? So Y is 40. I feel very stupid. I'm not, like, I understand the general premise of a question like this. I feel like this is like a not enough information type of scenario. Like, I don't have any idea how to figure out what Y is. I'm like reasonably sure that my educated guess of like X equals 0 is probably correct, but that's irrelevant if I can't figure out what Y is. I don't feel like knowing the other ones helps me that much. I'm probably forgetting something from like math class like a trillion years ago. Where would this connect me to, like, in theory? Map. I'm on the second floor. I'm there. Oh, that would probably be a good one. I'm not gonna lie. That would probably be a good shortcut to have open. How on earth do I get? How do I get up there? How do I get to that other shortcut over there? I have to like staircase. Oh, that's right. I have that stupid journal still. All right, chat. I am soliciting suggestions regarding what are we doing here? Like, do you remember the thing I'm forgetting about how like geometry or whatever works? I'm gonna stay. We'll start with level 0 of like, does someone who hasn't already beaten this game have input? And then we'll definitely go to a hint. But I think we're pretty close to the hint already, is my guess. Okay. Where do the answers range from? If X is 0, is the answer 0? No, don't look at that. Don't look at any of the books. Don't look at any of the books. Is it 1 then? I feel like it's like some really normal ratio. Is this some sort of solve for X and Y? I mean, yes, in the sense that it asks me to add X and Y together. Like, the end result is a number between 0 and 99. It asks me to add X and Y together. Yeah, I guess ratio doesn't make any sense if the actual question is to add X and Y together. I feel like that's the only relevant information I get from these other stupid. But like, I don't. Like, one of them is basically 1 or 0, and the other one is like, I don't know, big number? But like, how do I figure out the big number? Is it like, because these look roughly perpendicular, I somehow add them? Cross multiplying. Tell me more about this, Jakey. Why do you feel like it's cross multiplying? 510. times. Oh, I'm definitely breaking out the calculator if I need to do that. I mean, keep in mind that x plus y literally cannot exceed 99. This is fundamental to the way these puzzles work. Because all of the combination dials look exactly the same and only go from 0 to 99. All right, then I'll put the ball in Demolition's court. Give me a hint, then. This just feels like this is one of those, like, rules that if you don't remember it, then you're just, like, done. Like, you're just not solving the problem. The sorts of things you have, like, open book tests for or whatever. Spending too much time on it. Time in quotes. I see. So it's like the minutes represented by that position on a clock. Boy, that's so obtuse. Like, when you say that, I understand what you mean, and then the answer would be 30. But, like, we chose such, like, weird. We chose such a weird clue with an expectation that I would get there. The moral of the story, Neko, is that if you don't want the numbers to happen, you either stay here forever, or no, I guess that's it. I think that's the lesson. Didn't I want a book that wasn't on the other side? Like, again, like 1847? I don't know what I expect to happen when I find it. It wasn't that. That's not what I expected. I appreciate that, though. That feels helpful. Okay. 743? Input case-sensitive code to request bug report number 1. But, they're all... hang on. Okay, so because they're upside down, if I'm interpreting this correctly, and that top one is 1963, that would be E, right? Like 3 flipped upside down, when it's kind of like a E. 2014 is one of our, like, key number years. So that would be 4 upside down, which would be a H. And then 1847 would be 7 upside down, which would be a L. So EH would be capital E, lowercase h, capital L. I understand puzzles sometimes. We stay here forever, we're guaranteed to have nothing but numbers puzzles. I'm surprised it hasn't given you a book of Sudoku that you must complete to get the next random key. Well, all I'm going to say, Neko, is that you missed a couple streams, so you can't be sure of that, can you? Bug Report 1, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes Forest prototype. I do not remember which of the video games I haven't solved is which. Issue description: trying to walk past the sign by the boulder in the direction the sign is pointing triggers an unavailable animation and sets the player character transform incorrectly. Repeated triggering this bug eventually results in a software crash. Delta: standing by the magician and repeatedly spinning around on the spot will set the magician's transform incorrectly. Trying to interact with the magician will make the software crash. Who would spin around like that? Only some kind of a-hole. Theta: suspending the game when close to the lonely grave will result in the software starting in a corrupt test area when resuming. Interacting with grave 1, then 8, then 4, then 7. Okay, it's similar. We had something similar. Promise anything I missed would just be a block puzzle upon rewatching the VOD. No matter what plot I may or may not have missed, they're now all block puzzles and weird number nonsense. That's somewhat true. Okay. So I should go downstairs. I do not and will not ever remember how to get to that little library section over there. Photographic memory map, first floor. Okay. So I go to the main hall and then to the right and I climb up and I see what's in that door. Okay. Well, the bright side, there's only 2 of these. I could go out and figure this out, but I'm just too good. I actually want a coin flip for once in my life. Also, again, just like not how I saw this going. What's over here? Is this shortcut? Yes, this is shortcut. Why would I? It's 17. I can check that by just looking at it. Why would I? It's 17. Book. Did you leave and come back, Neko? 17. What is x plus y plus z? That shouldn't be super hard. X is 1. Yeah, x is 1. Y is also 1, I believe. I think that's right. And then 3 and 1. Z would be 5. So 7? I wish that was easier to scroll through. So hang on. If 6 adjacent to 4 in this fashion has 5 on the side to the right of the 4. Oh, that would be 2. I'm stupid. That'd be 2. So x is 2, but y would be 1. And z would be 5. So 8, not 7. That's embarrassing. Stupid. Very, very embarrassing. Okay, so this hallway's relatively useful now. Where am I? Okay. So I did the horse. Don't take that out of context. And now I need to get to a video game, which is surprisingly circuitous from here. Wow, it is surprisingly circuitous from here. It's got to be a better way. Builds a hotel like this, honestly. I've like unlocked a bunch of things. I'm gonna save. Why does it keep like not engaging the computer? I really have to, I need that key pretty bad. So yeah. I need this room? No, this room? No. Where am I? That's the mirror. What did I do? I went downstairs. I have to go upstairs. What did I do? At least there's no time shifts. Speak to that. Tell me your feelings. Yeah, that's a safe room. These are nonsense. That's coffee. Yeah, I'm close. I gotta go in the hotel. Oh, you mean like going in the numbered rooms changed the time? I mean, I don't know if we know for sure that's not happening. Where are we? Oh, it's not. It's the wrong one. I mean, because, just for example, Lorenzo was, like, definitely in room 1963 until we opened the door and he wasn't. And then he said, like, some weird thing like, I was here the whole time, but not when, or something. Does coffee do anything for you? Yeah. We spent an inordinate amount of time making the coffee do something. It caused some complication of human emotions. We spent 10 American dollars. We sent it into the astral plane so that we could have an unlimited supply of coffee. If we have a straight stretch, we can run. It doesn't happen very often. I don't actually find this incredibly useful, but I think I'm in the minority about that. I imagine most people like this very much. I need the other video game. It's on the 3rd floor. I can probably get there with minimal effort using elevator. What do the tampons do? Well, I mean, the American health class system has failed us. No, we've tried it on mostly everything, and it hasn't done anything yet, but, I mean, I don't think we've missed it. I'll say that. So, and then angle, and then room, and then, okay, okay, didn't actually wanted to check my mind. This is the perils of the one-button world interface system. Wait. No, library's the one we... Oh, I see. I see what I've done here. Where's the other one then? The cellar? I hardly know her. God, the cellar's so annoying to get to. I've never done that. The tampon soaks up all the coffee in the cup like Bart Simpson's marshmallow that became his entire cup of cocoa. Yeah? I mean, if it's doing its job, right? Forest? Okay. You know what? No, suspend. Memory debug report, which is somewhere in my memory. All of the people, all of the magic. That was something. Bug report 1. Trying to walk past the sign by the boulder in the direction the sign is pointing triggers an unavailable animation, and then repeatedly triggering it is bad. Find boulder. Got it. Check. Run forest dot run. Oh, I immediately forget how bad the controls are. You think you know how bad the controls are, but then you go in the video game within the game and you're like, oh no. I forgot again. Oh, hang on. There's one of them with the tombstone. I think there's a person near it. I'm gonna continue debugging. It's a lot of graves. Okay, now there's a lot of graves. What's the grave thing? Just BT dubs? Just FYI? Just IYKYK? Graves. The Lonely Grave. The Lonely Grave might have been the first one I was looking at. Suspending time when close to the Lonely Grave results in the software starting in a corrupt test area 1847. Got it. Are you sure hopefully these parts would induce flashbacks looking at bug reports? I distinctly remember, like, relatively early in her career, her, like, telling me the story of, like, debugging some strange thing in, like, The Sims Herbs, where, like, if I not look at this, I forget what the circumstances were, but, like, in a game that doesn't have, like, violence or anything like that, there was some bizarre thing where, like, there was, like, a big clock tower with, like, a loft in it, and, like, if you did something, it would cause, like, a chicken to spawn on fire in the loft, and you just, like, couldn't ever stop it. Something like that. You can ask her about it the next time she streams. She'll definitely remember it better than I do. But I was just like, that's just insane. Oh, no. Okay. I'm not sure if it's taking these inputs. Okay, it appears to be. Great, F-76. Trombones in the big parade. So now we need the boulder with the sign, and what's the other thing we need? Spinning around by the magician, of course. Where does it spawn me when I start? Okay. Wait a minute. Is this boulder sign? C18. Super cool. It's a really weird aspect of this game. Like, it just... The like, arcane nature of, like, recreating these bizarre actions and getting a strange consequence feels like it's in line with the game, but it also just doesn't feel like debugging a video game is, like, part of this at all. It's, like, very strange. And then I gotta find the magician. He would show up on level design, wouldn't he? It's either down here or not down here. It either happened or it didn't happen. What am I supposed to do now? Talk to him? Should probably remember this, but I just don't. Documents. Bug report. Spinning around the spot will cause his transform. Trying to interact with him will make the soft. Well, I did interact with him and it didn't care about that. So that's interesting. I did literally just do that, but okay. Okay, great. So the cellar video game is done. What does that leave me with? That room I can't get into. I could make a call about the puzzle box. I don't know how to get in the revolver door or the quiz club or let the guy out of his imprisonment. I could probably do the Roman numeral with 10 letters if I really thought about it. Where's that at? Probably should just know that by now, but... what's that? That's down here. So if I leave and go past the stairs and then go left... yeah, that'll do it. Okay. 10 letters. Show me... this would not be the way to do it. The best way to do this would be to check divisions. 19... no, it's probably 1847. Is that really complicated? That would be like LMCCC XLVII. Yeah, that's probably it. $1,000. 7, 8, and then 10, 50. No, that's not. No, that's right, I think. It's not right. How is 18 it's 40 that I mean that's 47, right? L X 47. So it wouldn't be V though, huh? That'd be a really stupid thing. It would be... is there a 500? Is this in my mind palace? I have like a book of Roman numerals. Books. I don't have whatever this one is. That feels like a problem. Don't I have a book of Roman numerals? What am I? Oh, there it is. D. It's D. Could have taken the educated guess, given that I just like didn't know what it was and it was on the dial and figured that's probably true. I had the right idea, I just didn't remember that D was a thing. $1 American. Okay, that's not it. I was gonna take one. I'm gonna take that. There's, I swear to God, there's an American dollar. Let me out of here and give it to me. Wow, it's really not gonna let me have it until I solve this puzzle I don't understand at all. What? I don't... which bottle is it on? I don't... listen! I can almost see downtown Lidsville from here, okay? I'm gonna see the dollar bill before I see the label on it. You understand? I should be able to accept the dollar bill without the hassle of whatever this is. It's obviously on Dulcetto. Or Dornfelder. Beast with red horns actually sounds relevant, but I don't know how to... I don't know what this puzzle is at all. I don't get it. I don't feel like I have any information that, like, turns this into a puzzle, do I? What would it be? The other ones are so helpful. I hate it here. This is a bad room. Where have I seen one? On the menu? But, like, isn't it just, it's like a lot of names? I also don't, listen, I don't know how I would do this better, but this scheme of organizing stuff is, like, basically useless to me. Hey, Katia, thanks for the 90-month resub. Hope you're doing well. Hi, dog. Hello. Like, even when I know what I'm looking for, I often can't find it. It's, like, not a great sign. Oh, they have years. What did I do for this? 1847. I need a Geist Schwarzel ring. This sucks. What? But I did it. What, you want, like, 1963 and 2014? Already lost track of this stupid thing. Well, I don't have a 2014, which is a little bit of a... What the heck? Oh, there's one. Diamond Smullertruger. And Gargoyle. Okay, great. So now I sold all my horse coin. I don't know what to do with all that junk inside my trunk, though. Check behind it. Already. I don't see it. Thought there was $1. I don't think that... I think they're usually pretty good about making it clear when you've unlocked the $1. I like looked at chat while I was navigating and have completely lost all sense of what I was doing. Maybe I should say... Products can be exchanged for goods and services. Tell me more. I honestly feel like we've made way more progress on our percentage reflects. So, okay, I assume that I'm inputting a year with these weird blocks. There are some number of relevant years. What year is relevant to, like... Is it bad that you're confused still? No. If you have a specific grievance, I will try to answer your question. But it's very difficult for me to explain everything, as I've proved before. I guess this is sort of like a typical lettered cipher block situation in that it's like limiting what my options are, so I can't just like put in any digital number I want. And I think there were a bunch of 1847 things in the backyard, so I could try that. I did it. The answer was behind the wall the whole time, which does sort of defeat the purpose. Don't worry about it. Just the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Can I explain that? I know the answer is 42. I can't show my work. Hey, look, an American dollar. What's going on here? That's not promising. That's so many inputs. Are you okay? Hey, video game, are you all right? That's too many inputs. Code for the orangery keypad? Isn't that the lady in the hotel room next door in Disco Elysium? Orangery? What? That's... How many inputs is that? That's a 16-digit code? Even if I was to assume, like, important years... Oh god, and you can't back out of this ever, huh? I think the answer is, like, 1 a bunch of times? I feel like getting half credit on the meaning of life, the universe, and everything's actually pretty good. Brute force won't take that long. You're right, Cotillion. Quick, someone tell a story. I want to try every combination. Okay, let's look at my mental notes for a second here. Got that one, but you know what? Let's go call that guy about puzzle boxes, and he almost can't possibly tell me anything useful. It's bizarre that I so badly want to open that diary with the moon phase lock on it. I think the number I need for this is 1963. Trying to explain to anyone any part of this game at a certain point is just impossible. We know this. Pronto, what's on your mind? Inform about puzzle boxes. Yes, I love puzzle boxes, but what do they all mean? What is their connection to the past? Their mystery makes them brilliant. Signorina, listen carefully. The past is the door to the future. Look for patterns. Did you have anything else on your mind? Give me some advice. Always walk in a straight circle. One more. A happy bishop does not sadden the saint. Very good. There's no news. I'll cross that off my to-do list, and I bet that counts as progress for some unknown reason. It does. It does count as progress. I mean, I still don't have whatever does the graveyard thing. I don't think. I still don't have the key to get access to the room that answers the last puzzle box. I still don't know what to put on the Polaroid to get that guy out of prison. I don't know how to open the revolver door. I can't reach the center of the quiz club. I can't unlock 1953 without that key I don't have. Log into the supercomputer, graves by the mausoleum. Center gate. Did I at some point accidentally figure out without knowing it, what to do with the Greek letters in the maze? Bug report 2. Bug report 2, maybe. Astronomical clock, I feel like I don't have. Journal, I don't have. Only 20 trillion combinations. Better get started. Man, if I could get that in like one brute force shot, like I feel like you would all have to like become the disciples of sharing that clip online. I feel like I'm so close to that journal. I feel like the contents of the journal are either like incredibly important or absolutely useless. I don't think there's any in between. Let's take a look at our visions. That does not strike me as helpful to anything I can think of. Nor does that without more context. That's quite the hashtag there. I like how like this first one I got is the one that makes the most sense, and everything that came after it was just very confusing. That feels relevant. I mean, we could go look at the supercomputer, but like I just feel like I'm missing something to do everything. We're right back where we started, despite having accomplished many things in the meantime. Actually, so does one of my documents, what are they called? Where am I keeping this crap in my memory? Don't I have... Isn't there some place in my memory that has these stupid... like, letters I got from the puzzle box? What are they? They're not script pages. These things all came from one of the suit rooms. These letters are distinct. Those are their own thing. Elevator. That's what fortune telling and magic show. It's about exhibition. It's about script pages. Note found in typewriter. Oh, this thing. You know, I still have no idea what the debug information is for, incidentally. These are the doors. These are the notes about what's behind the door. Isn't this... So I'd have to go back to the puzzle room, I guess? That doesn't seem right. That seems wrong. I do not know. I do not know what I'm doing. Where's that room I hate so much? I think I'm close to it. One Nate. One and two. Live. I think I'm finally starting to get the sense of this. I'm not sure that I could do it still. The math was wrong. There are 10 quadrillion possible combinations. I mean, it's a lot. 16 digits is a lot. So I kind of think what these busts are telling me is like... Like the first letter of the 3-letter thing I enter into the bug report typewriter goes where the 1 is? Do any of these have 3? One of them does. 31 LEI. Oh, this one does too. So I guess this last one is to sort of like, if you plug them in and this word makes sense, then you're probably good. Night King, thanks for stopping by. Hope you get good sleep and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And maybe one Nate. What would the 1 be? I think I'm on the right track, but I might not be smart enough for this. I feel like this one's really important and it's not making sense to me. I mean, 1 would have to be like... I guess it wouldn't have to be, but it almost has to be a vowel. I don't think it's like snate. I mean, oh, this is one of those things where, like, if I was writing it, it would feel normal. Does Nate only have 1 N? One could be I guess? That doesn't seem to make much sense then. One, two. I feel like I need to have confidence in probably 2 of these in order to be able to solve it. I have moderate confidence in 1, not a lot. many other words have LEI in them? Here, I don't know if Neko's paying attention. I'm gonna go use the restroom, but I'm gonna put it on like a random thing in the notebook to freak her out in case she's not paying attention. She'll be like, oh no, we're like doing nonsense puzzles again. What's a good one? We've done all the hardest looking ones. Just got back from checking on my food. You staring hard at 3-1 LEI. Yeah, that's true. Here, you want to just look at that and see if you can figure it out? I have to use my own real life anti-coffee measure, even though I don't drink coffee. I mean, I can put you on the hold screen, but I feel like you'll enjoy this black screen and letters more. After all, letters, yay! Hear my computer making angry processing noises down the hall, even though it's literally just like a black screen with 31 LEI written on it. Definitely a thing to come back to without context, right? That's why we do this. Do you have any other context for this? So, okay, here's the context. We have to give input to this weird typewriter, and if we give the correct, like, case-sensitive 3-letter combination, it will print out instructions on how to break a video game. If we break the video game 3 times, we get 3 different pieces of information that I still have no idea how to use them. This room has been available to us for a considerable amount of time. I haven't figured it out. So we're looking for 3 letters, but like the piece of information we have are 1 Nate, 1 N2, 3-1 LEI, and 3-1 N2. Now, my current interpretation of this, having now experienced the 2 other versions of this puzzle in the game, is that 1, 2, and 3 are letter variables. I'm thinking that where 1 is written, the first letter of our ultimate combination goes. So if we can solve each of these words such that we know what 1, 2, and 3 are, then we order them 1, 2, and 3 and type them into the typewriter, and then we're done is a strong word because it will give us more things to do with no obvious ultimate payoff or goal. But that's why we would stare really intently at one Nate. Trying to think of all the letters that could go before Nate. Somehow reminds me that Somnium Files is on some like dirt cheap sale right now. I think you can get both Somnium Files 1 and 2 for like $4 on, I want to say Steam. Not 100% sure on that. Somewhere there's some preposterous sale, and I've seen multiple people talking about it. You can think of 3 ways to solve this. I mean, I can think of one, which is look up a walkthrough, and I know your immediate response is, but Vask, everything's randomized, so it won't work. I suppose if each number is a syllable, then 3-1 LEI could be 3 is LO and 1 is RE. That is maybe possible. The concern I have is that I think both of the other debug report answers were exactly 3 characters. So I'm not sure that's possible. I'm not certain it's not, though. But, like, if we went with syllables, then 1 would go here before Nate, and that would make this Renate, which actually what am I looking for? Script pages? I was going through some of these scripts. Wasn't he interacting with a guy called Renate? Huh. So they're all like people's names from the script? Renate. That would be Ren. So 2 would be Zio. So it would be Rezolo, Rizzolo, and Isles. I mean, I think they would all be capital. Try capitals. Oh, it was default. Right, it was defaulting to lowercase. I thought I inputted capitals. My bad. Okay. See, skimming through the script pages was helpful because it gave context to make sense out of it. But that was good on you. I did not think... I was fixated on the fact that I'm pretty sure the other ones were all like really short debug entry, and I didn't think it could be a long thing. Let's see. So we have to go to the hallway. I don't remember which one that is. It's not the cellar, and it's not the loft, so it's whatever the other one is. Interacting with the magician repeatedly will corrupt the dialogue text. I mean, that's not even probably a bug. It feels like that's what would normally happen. Repeatedly triggering it will eventually make the magician turn into the player character, and then interacting with the player character crashes the software. Standing closely behind the pointing woman while facing the opposite direction she points will trigger a corrupt animation for the pointing woman when pressing the button. The wall to which the woman was pointing will corrupt and lose its collision, leading to a corrupt path. And then walking through 1963 will trigger a corrupt cutscene. Does that just exist in the hallway zone? Okay, now I have to figure out where... I mean, I was thinking of Lorelei too, but I was thinking that it was like, I mean, because I thought it had to be such a small like word, it wasn't making much sense to me. Um, Photographic memory map 2. There is a 2. And we have to take like an obscenely roundabout path to get there. Where are we now? We're on the ground floor? No, we're not. Right. So take the stairs down and take a right and do that loop, we get where we want to go eventually. I am here. Understood. So I'm supposed to suspend. I'm supposed to do something facing opposite the way the woman is pointing. Graphic memory. I never remember where the debug reports go. Standing closely behind the pointing woman facing the opposite direction triggers a corrupt animation. The wall to which she's pointing loses collision. And then if you walk down the path, it breaks. So, like, it should glitch when I, like, walk behind her and then I go... I mean, her face is going weird. Is that good enough? Cool room. Hey, I found a dead guy. Apparently I didn't want that. I think that weird face means she's Rorschach. That's probably true, yeah. Documents. Bug report 2. I want... 1963 sounds like it'll be a hassle on this map. Let's try to do that next. Wow. Out by the doggo. Doesn't the level design tell me where the doors are? No, it very specifically doesn't do that. That's a 4. Oh no, it does. It does. I have to go to my left. Which year am I looking for? 1963? Got so lost that I forgot what I was doing. Yeah, 1963. For some reason I wanted to say 73, but I know that's not like one of our important years. So I need 6, which is to turn left, hang a right at the wall, and go until I see 6. That's the guy? It is. I'm glad these ones are close together. Didn't seem to like that. D34. Alright, now I have to get to that magician who's at the bottom and then just spin around. And then when he turns into me, I talk to him? We'll figure it out. So I just go through, like... Guess 2 is technically the quickest way there? Can't get there from here. Didn't think that was going to be that direct for some reason. Hey, buddy. Look what I can do. Am I misremembering this? I thought I was supposed to spin around. Didn't seem to suggest that I would, like, circle him or something. Graphic memory. Documents. Report 2. Bug 2. No, bug 1. Interacting with the magician repeatedly. Oh, I'm thinking of... No, I am literally thinking of a different one. I already did that one, didn't I? Interacting with the magician repeatedly corrupts the dialogue. He turns into you and then do it again. Okay. One of these is solved by spinning around, and it was good. I don't remember which one it was. Listen, spin a log, whatever. Okay, hi. Great, I broke all the games. I'd say, do I win anything? I got an achievement. I don't know what to do now. I think I'm gonna go look at the supercomputer, but I don't think I could do anything there still yet. Where are we at? 86.6%? Feels like not progress. Yeah, let me actually have to call the elevator. No, it's here. What other thing would we call ourselves that's 6 letters that would, like, do anything? That would, like, solve the prison dilemma. Legally distinct from the prisoner's dilemma, of course. Input username. Then password, and then memory sequence. Alright, so from previous puzzles, I need SU 611. This guy, like J91. Then I need E, and then SU again, and then E again, and then this guy, this one, and then return. So the second thing is perfection, the game of perfection. I don't think I have that yet. I think one of my memories has a couple of these shapes, but I don't think that does anything for me. So I'm just gonna say, like, Tetris, T-piece, T-piece. And then one of the memories I got from my future self's laser eyes, I feel like gives me like half of this or something. I still don't like fully understand what this means. It most closely reminds me of something from the end of Virtue's Last Reward, which is like famously like the worst infographic known to man. I literally have a copy of it saved to my desktop because it's so funny. And it's just about like trying to like understand a sequence of events in like the least helpful way possible, and I feel like that's what I'm looking at. So like so if we look at visions, a lot of these still don't feel like they mean anything to me. Like this, I don't know. Maybe it's not that helpful. It looks like it's saying like toggle a couple of switches down, one in the middle, and then one just doesn't have a thing at all. This like kinda, that doesn't really do it. I don't know what to do with these. So what does that leave me with? The orangery keypad. That box I can't do anything with because I'm lacking the key to address another one of these open points. Open the jail cell, which I don't know how to do. Unlock the revolver door, which I don't know how to do. Reach the center of the quiz club, which I don't think I can do. Log into the supercomputer. I've demonstrated I can't do that. 3 graves by the mausoleum. I'm fairly certain I'm missing a physical item to do that. Unlock the maze center gate. I mean, I haven't been there in a minute. I could, like, take a look at it, but I don't think I can do that either. Help the old woman see feels like it involves, like, beating most of the game. I don't know where I'd find another cassette. I just... recommend writing these down on another piece of paper. No, I got, like, a whole video game infrastructure. I'm gonna write it down. It could be Renate. I don't know why it would be. I just completely lost focus and scrolled past the E. If the answer is Renate, then I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing and read the script pages, because suddenly it will feel like it was important. Spoilers! Okay, well, I should probably read the thing, I guess. You are as merciful as the bear-eating salad, Bella. Finally, we can start to wrap up this project. I have settled the Madonna on this cassette. Obtained the artist cassette. See you soon, Signorina. There's like an American dollar in here, and then I get the door closed behind me. Okay, I feel like that cassette tape will not be super useful, but I did say that I would, okay, let's read the script pages, I guess. It'll give us some time to reflect on the situation and maybe learn something I should have known before randomly jamming that into the thing. Okay. Lost grip pages, whatever. Third Eye, page 2. Interior theater day. Smoke lies thick in the small, tawdry theater. On the hardwood stage, a magician performs. His coat is worn... Whoops. Worn and mended, but once was expensive. Lorenzo the Great. Lorenzo, but alas, the young Mademoiselle Henrietta Dubois could not escape her sordid fate. He yanks on the handle to his etherotype. Buy it then or first? And a silhouette of a man stabbing a woman appears on the wall. Buy it then. Never mind. The crowd stares dumbly at the shadow and they smile with yellow teeth made for biting. That what? Why? Lorenzo looks at the audience with disgust. He takes out another wheel labeled The Third Eye for Brotherhood use only. He hesitates and puts the wheel in his contraption. The next story is not meant for the likes of you. It's something I normally only show refined ladies and gentlemen. But I'll make an exception tonight. Those tired, ugly eyes of yours shall see something new. He gently yanks the bone. Thousands of years ago, the third eye shone over the islands in the far east, but one night it fell from the sky. Comet passes on the wall. Strangely enough, it quiets down the crowd. They follow the comet while gaping and see it crash into the ground. A human found it, and when she held it, she saw some magic of this world. She had a vision, so she painted a creature in red ochre on the cave wall. The cave paintings show up all over the wall. The crowd is a bit confused by the effect. At night, the crimson beast awoke, spread chaos and death, and devoured the human and her people. A red monster appears. The crowd screams in terror as it attacks them. Some of them had enough and flee the theater. It's like when you see an old-timey movie of a train coming towards the camera. Lorenzo slows down and the beast disappears. The story of the red creature became a legend, but the third eye lived on and appears in the most unlikely of places to this day. That is all for tonight. You have been a wonderful audience. Go away. The crowd mutters and leaves. One man, better dressed and cleaner than the rest, remains in his seat. He studies Lorenzo with cold eyes. Brother Tertius. When Lorenzo discovers his presence, the pupils dilate from fear. Interior Brotherhood Lodge night. The room is dark. Besides the many lit brass candelabras, Lorenzo stands with his hat in hand. 50 men in robes watch him from a long table. At the end of the table, a stern old man ponderously strokes his sideburns. That's such a weird effect. Brother Septimus, a young brother, opens a mahogany case and takes out an ornate revolver and a minotaur mask. He looks over at Brother Septimus, who nods to him. The young brother puts on the mask and aims the gun at Lorenzo's head. Play safe and never pass. Gamble to pass or perish. Truth above all. Risk my life, brother. How many were our first ancient brothers? 7. Correct. The seated brothers raise their goblets and drink. Is 7 the number of tattered robed mans with weird feet or whatever? The seated brothers raise their goblets and drink. What is the punishment for sharing our secrets with outsiders? Lorenzo grabs hold of the table and is about to faint. Death. Correct. But ironically, I can't shoot you because you answered correctly. We have a weird set of rules. Lorenzo closes his eyes, but death does not come. Under normal circumstances, you would be dead now. I'm sorry, elder brother. I was not thinking. Weariness and perhaps crisis of faith. Forgive me, my brothers. Thankfully for you, these are not normal circumstances. The time is nigh, little brother, and like in the old, we shall send 7 brothers in search of that which was lost. All brothers hold up 7 fingers. 6 have already gone searching for the omens. You will be the 7th, the disgraced one. Where will you send me, elder brother? Agenwaldenberg. There lives an artist in an old manor. The prophecy mentions her. Go and see her, brother, if that which is lost is there. Lorenzo nods. The lady suffers from an eye condition that will ultimately render blindness. A sad fate for a painter. Take these vermilion tears. It's dangerous to go alone. What do they do, elder brother? Nothing at all, but you will use them pretending to cure the lady. That is your guise while you search her house for the third eye. Cool story. Hey, everyone remember the number 7 for me? Olden Waldenberg. Dusk. Hooves clop. Echoes. Echoes? Is that conjugated correctly? I feel like that should be echo singular. Hooves clop echoes through the dilapidated courtyard. Algae-covered statues silently await for arrival. A pale, sickly horse comes into view, pulling a wagon painted red in a distant past. Lorenzo walks beside the horse and leads it by the reins. Lorenzo ties the horse to an old oak. So Lorenzo is the magician who, like, lives in the cart out there, which is why he's also, like, imprisoned multiple times in the house. There is some sort of, like, fractured time thing. Be brave, Morse. You have nothing to fear. Lorenzo carefully approaches the front gate. He bangs the knocker. Hey, buy it dinner first. Lorenzo scans the dirty windows for any sign of life. Finally, the door creaks open. The knockers are still visible. And instantly, Lorenzo raises his top hat and takes a bow. A white rose appears in his hand, from his hat. The miracle has arrived. The ashen woman is in an expensive dress stares through him with milky eyes. Renate Schwartzwald. Well, there you go. That would be it, huh? Old lady us. You can't see? I do not believe in miracles. Till I came along, you sexy thing. No, that's a song. Never mind. That is why you need one, Baronin. Lorenzo hands the white rose to Renate. It changes color to red. You might as well perform for the shadows. My sight is fading away. Your eyes are fading because there has been nothing to see. Weary eyes need entertainment, and tired souls need miracles. Who are you? Lorenzo the Great, at your service, Baronin. A magus whose name is whispered from the shores of Zanzibar to the frosty peaks of Helsinki, known to beggars and kings alike. You are not known to me. Good evening. Renate is about to shut the gate, because it rhymes. Wait, he says, hoping an additional rhyme will pause her. She does, in fact, wait. My journey has been a long one. My horse is tired, and to be honest, so am I. Renate looks at the very sickly-looking horse. I've had 4 once, during better times, but ironically Morse is the only one who lives. I assume Morse was death? I can't be bothered to remember. Very well. Interior Oldenwaldenberg Manor dining room day. An oversized dead goose lies on the oaken dining table. Lorenzo devours his portion in a loud manner. Renate tries to hide her disgust. Is the room satisfactory? Yes, I slept like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. So it was not you I heard last night? Lorenzo drinks wine and coughs to buy some time. I was up briefly, yes. He takes a small vial from his sleeve. My vermilion tears. They need moonlight not to lose their magic. I took the liberty to use one of the windows in your studio. Renate looks amused. I took another liberty and studied some of your works. The portraits are, of course, excellent, but I'm most intrigued by the drawings of signs? My Himmelskorper suite. What inspired them? Renate ignores the question. Magician, might I ask a strange question? Who am I to refuse to answer? Did you see a labyrinth while you were in the park? A labyrinth? A red labyrinth. The only labyrinth I saw was the portrait of a man with a labyrinth instead of a face. Renate stands up angrily. I've made no such portrait. Your lies have ceased to amuse me. I know why you're here, and I know where you will look for it. But I will hold you to your word. So, it's only now occurring to me what maybe should have been obvious previously. There's a Brotherhood of the Third Eye. We have collected 1 eye. This game is about laser eyes. We probably need 3 eyes and not 2? Probably? Oh, hang on. I know why you're here. I know what you'll look for, but I will hold you to your word. He looks like he's about to assure Renate of his pure intentions. Cure my eyes! Interior Oldenwaldenberg Manor. Renate's bedroom day. The curtains have been drawn. Renate lies on top of the bed, a trace of a smirk on her lips. Lorenzo looks gravely serious on the side of the bed. Are you ready for your miracle, Baronin? Yes. Lorenzo spills a single drop of vermilion tears into Renate's left eye. She blinks, and Lorenzo drops another tear into the right eye. It might be a few days before it takes effect. Renate's eyes start to boil, and she screams in unfiltered agony. Lorenzo backs away in horror. Lorenzo holds his hands over his ears to protect himself from her looping, deafening screams. Everything turns black. Lorenzo, out of sight. It's just eye drops. It's just eye drops. It's just eye drops. Then, quiet. Lorenzo stirs to life on the floor. He sees Renee lying lifeless on the bed. Lorenzo checks her pulse in a hurry. She is still alive. Apparently he has, at some point, put a bandage around her head. 2 red dots mark the eyes, giving Renee a disturbing appearance. Baronin, can you hear me? I can hear you, magician. They tell me you are not invited. Man, we become so creepy. Are the laser eyes for one of those laser mirror puzzles? Maybe. I don't know. I'm also not entirely sure how the supercomputer factors into things. If it's a cause or effect for one of the laser eyes. I'm not invited where? To the cavern. I followed the echoes of my screams. They were waiting for me. Who was waiting for you? Our ancient sisters and brothers in the Far East. They're sharing their secret with me. They won't share it with you. The cavemen think you are an obsequious ignoramus who balters through existence. Baronin, you must rest now. A labyrinth. They drew it on the wall. Go and see it by the window. They say I should defenestrate you, but we have an agreement. Wow, what a thing to say. They say I should defenestrate you, but we have an agreement. Lorenzo slowly trudges against the window. Moonlight shines on his weather-bitten face. He looks out the window. A giant garden labyrinth has appeared in the park. Do you see it, magician? Yes. Do you see me in the labyrinth? He squints. It's very dark. Yes, I see you. Do you see you? What do you mean? Can you see yourself in the labyrinth? Of course not. I'm not there. Neither am I. Yeah, why is it preposterous for him to be there, but it's normal for her to be there when she's sitting right next to him? Lorenzo turns around and bumps into Renee. The red dots on the bandage have grown substantially, looking like giant red bug eyes. She puts her hand on Lorenzo's face. She receives $5 US and spends them wisely. The room turns red. Interior garden labyrinth, night. Lorenzo gasps in disorientation. He is now somewhere in the labyrinth. Lorenzo quivers from fear. Renee smiles at him. Her bandage is gone, and a pair of lovely hazel eyes look at Lorenzo with affection. This is the place from my childhood. I am over there. God, sentences like that are so creepy. Renee points behind Lorenzo. He turns his head to look. A girl wearing an owl mask watches from behind. Yeah, that tracks. Owl girl. She runs and disappears behind a corner. Renee takes Lorenzo's hand. Come, buy him dinner first. Waka waka. Together they run in the labyrinth. Renee seems to know her way, while Lorenzo is trying to make sense of a strange place. A red hue suddenly appears on their faces. It's the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. They smile with tears running down their cheeks. The light grows stronger, and the cosmos plays music just for them. Is it really the end of that page? I think it is, but that feels weird, so I'm double checking. I mean, it's a long excerpt, I guess. Okay, the cosmos plays music just for them. Don't worry, I won't. Interior Alden Waldenberg. Library day. Renee's hand moves frantically across a canvas. Lorenzo sits in an armchair by the window with his top hat on his knee, posing for a portrait. There is movement inside his top hat. I think it might have been a maze, not the labyrinth. Aren't they interchangeable? The labyrinth prolongs the path, while a maze is for getting lost, and we are lost. It's a big house. It can sometimes be disorienting. We have seen it. I think the price of admission might be an eye and a leg. Why a leg? Lorenzo leans forward and his hat falls on the floor. A red owl flutters out of the hat in front of Lorenzo. He stares at it in surprise. That was a very clever trick. The owl perches on top of a bookshelf. It defecates immediately. Lorenzo, half chance, as if reading. And when the third eye blinked, the red beast laid an egg within. The third eye closed, and their offspring was born thousands of years later. Renee studies her canvas and is a bit confused. A realistic portrait of a man in a dark suit, but where his head is supposed to be, there's a red glowing maze. Renee notices 2 tickets in his hand. She takes them and stares at them. Teatro Rosso. Interior theater night. An excited faceless valet points at a red curtain. Lorenzo and Renee look at each other and then step through it. Rows and rows of seats. It's much too large to be inside the manor. Lorenzo stares in disbelief at the giant theater. It seems empty, but the murmuring from the crowd is deafening. Gaslight illuminates the stage. Someone clears his throat behind them, and a featureless usher points towards the first rows. Renee and Lorenzo silently descend the stairs toward their seats. A fanfare, the lights dim. A man dressed as Lorenzo and wearing a Lorenzo mask rides a prop horse onto the stage. What is this? Lorenzo knocks on a door mid-stage, and an actress wearing a mask resembling Renee opens the door. This is like that thing in the last season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they like watch a play about themselves and it's like not accurate. Applause. The light intensifies on stage and blinds Lorenzo and Renee. On the stage, a comet hanging from wires passes. Renee and Lorenzo avert their eyes, and the comet is gone. The stage is empty. A lone, hesitant clap from somewhere further back. It's actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. The actress playing Renee walks on stage, holds her hands in front of her, blood flowing from her eyes. Please hold me! The actor playing Lorenzo steps on stage purposefully. Lorenzo and Renee watch their theater alter egos on stage in grim silence. Their hands join. Lorenzo drags a stylized prop window onto the stage. Renee wanders, sobbing blood? I guess that makes sense. Lorenzo tries to place the window in front of Renee, making her fall out. The crowd howls with laughter as Lorenzo gets more frustrated every time Renee misses the window. Please hold me! Hold me! Finally, Lorenzo has enough. He grabs Renee and shoves her with full force through the glass window and from the stage. Renee lands with a thud and a crack. Theater blood squirts into Lorenzo's face. Lorenzo forms a fist and rises. Enough! Lorenzo watches him silently. The whole theater boo. Boo! Numbers! Lorenzo to Renee. Let's go. But Renee is gone from her seat. In fact, she is nowhere to be found. Lorenzo looks around in a panic, but it's like she vanished into thin air. The actress playing Renee comes back to life and is elevated by strings into the air. She bows and receives applause. The actress turns her head to Lorenzo, and she takes off the Renee mask. Beneath it is a featureless face. To be gifted is to be infested. Ideas are tiny red eggs in your brain to the microscope. They still look the same. The good and the bad. Oh, but look at the time. Lorenzo slowly walks off stage, his footsteps echoing through the empty theater. He moves towards actual Lorenzo. Actual Lorenzo tries to run, but his doppelganger catches up with him. The doppelganger removes the mask. Behind it, Maze Man! His head buzzing in an electrical manner. She is waiting for you. Here is an idea. Follow my daughter. There's something really funny about suggesting, here is an idea, and then just like telling someone what to do. It's like, isn't this a good idea that you thought of yourself? The Maze Man puts his hand over Lorenzo's eyes and receives $5 US, which he spends unwisely. Interior Alden Waldenberg Manor corridor day. A disoriented Lorenzo finds himself in the hotel corridor. A phone rings somewhere. Further down the hall, he sees Owl Girl. Lorenzo to the Owl Girl. Where is she? The girl flaps her arms and hoots. Enough games! The Owl Girl disappears down a corner. Lorenzo stomps after. The Owl Girl waits for him at the end of the next corridor. Suddenly, a black Labrador runs up to him and barks. Lorenzo looks at the dog with surprise. His tag reads Rudy. Rudy lies down and plays dead on the rug. As he does, Rudy changes from black to white. Finally, the dog cramps and then contorts into a cat. A payphone rings on the wall. Lorenzo lifts the receiver. This is definitely like a bad dream. Telephone voice. Why are you answering the phone? God, I hate this. I hate this in like the best possible way. This type of horror I'm into, but it's very upsetting. It's just like, he asks the girl a question, and then she acts like a bird. And then she, like, vanishes, and, like, a shape-shifting animal changes colors. And then when he tries to answer a phone, the voice just says, like, why are you doing that? Like, ah. Lorenzo remains silent. There are no phones in 1847, you cretino. Lorenzo grunts. Hang up the phone and chase the Owl Girl like the script says. Ah, crap, the script is becoming self-aware. Lorenzo hangs up and sees the Owl Girl with a limp cat in her hand. Lorenzo runs after her, corridor after corridor. Lorenzo runs fast with determination, but Owl Girl is always around yet another corner. He never catches up with her. Lorenzo turns a corner. There's no Owl Girl, but a mirror. Lorenzo sees himself briefly, and behind him stands a man in sunglasses and a dark suit. Lorenzo regards the man in the mirror, but the mirror changes, and Renee appears, levitating like a ghost. Stylish sunglasses obscure her eyes. Renee with a man's voice. I am waiting for you upstairs. I looked serious, so you might want to go check. Renee vanishes from the mirror. Lorenzo is left with the image of himself. He looks weary. He turns and goes. His footsteps echo through the empty hotel. Nope, manor. I feel like the greatest connection to Owl Girl, but Maze Man sounds like a cool villain. You saw Maze Man before, right? At some point. I shall see you in 25 years. I see what you did there, backwards talking demolition in the red room. The whole description of like chasing someone in this way reminds me of the Delta Green Impossible Landscape scenario, which has some like really intensely interesting like modern day eldritch horror stuff going on, but in my opinion not as much as I would like. Interior Oldenburg Manor, staircase, second floor corridor, night. At the end of the dark hallway, Lorenzo sees a dark shape. Lorenzo very slowly approaches it. It's Renee with her back turned against him. Lorenzo stops, a long silence. Renee in man's voice. You keep sending the wrong goose to the butcher. Baronin? Baronin? I think the Baronin would perhaps hear talk about her ascension. She can say something to the effect of... Renee clears her throat. I have good news for you. We are not artists. We are not even art. When it comes down to it, we are all just paint. Aren't you happy with this news magician? Renee switches voices again. And he would say... Lorenzo keeps his silence in defiance. Why is this so hard for you? Why do you think of these things? This is unimportant. There are symbolic values and mirror images, yes, but none of this matters, Signorina. Had you read my manifesto, you would have known it was never meant for viewing. Lorenzo looks confused for a moment. Please, Baronin, let's leave this place. Every maze has a solution. Renee sighs heavily. You really understand nothing at all, but if you understood, you would never have played your part. Time for entertainment. Here is her last performance. Renee turns slowly around, her face hidden by shadows. Lorenzo takes a step forward. Her eyes are empty craters. Red paint runs down her cheeks. In her own voice. Hold me. Please hold me. Lorenzo backs away. Please hold me. Please hold me. Lorenzo backs further, Renee's arms flailing, searching for him like tentacles, paint dripping everywhere she goes. Please hold me. Lorenzo's eyes widen with fear as she comes closer. Her touch disgusts him. Suddenly, Renee increases her pace, and she touches his face, again receiving $5 American. Please hold me. Lorenzo instinctively pushes Renee with full force. Smiling, she falls towards the large window. The Baronin crashes through it and down to the ground below. Lorenzo stares at the window in shock. He steps toward the window. Rain patters against his face. On the gravel path below lies a mangled corpse. The end. So the main thing I get out of that, other than an explanation for why I was supposed to know that the old woman's name was Renate, is that this is some sort of cycle, is that she, like, had some... She was, like, influenced by weird otherworldly forces of creativity and manipulated him to play some part in this, and then he turns around and does it to us. I didn't get very much from that, to be honest. You think touching face is the wisest use of American dollars? I mean, I think it is for the person touching the face because they get American dollars that they can choose whether to spend wisely or not. I mean, I'm not sure there's much, like, question to consider there, really. I really have no earthly concept of, like, what to put into that stupid 16-digit password outside. Oh, he gave me a VHS tape. Let me see if that matters at all. If you could get your face touched, would you spend all the dollars on it? I mean, it kind of depends on, like, whether it's a good deal. I mean, I always gave Tech, like, a really good rate because we're such good friends. But, like, I don't know. I feel like a stranger, you know, it wouldn't be, like, a great exchange rate. Yeah, eject this tape. I wrote down the thing I'm supposed to get from it, but I don't... Oh, that was the last cassette tape. That's fun for me. The artist cassette. Oh crap, it's like the same thing. Okay, hold on. VHS artists. Left, left, left. Right, right. I have to wait for her to reset to get the other part of it. Left, 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 right, right, left, and then left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. I think I've got that. Left, 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 right, right, left, 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 right, right. That just repeats. The other one didn't. I'll watch that one more time. Left, 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 right, right, left, 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 right, right. Buzz, restart. Okay, great. You know, I'm gonna eject it just so my inventory is like stupidly full because it seems to expand to whatever size it needs. So I have those things written down. I don't know where to use them at all. I don't think. So those were not very good prizes because they didn't do anything for me. So $5 is the friends and family rate. You've been undercharging people. Yeah, I mean probably. Like if you're like out in the world, like touching your bus driver's face or whatever, like you should definitely be charging more. I don't know what the exchange rate is like to British pounds or whatever. Also. Okay. Photographic memory maps. The only locked door inside the house is the key I don't have from the maze. I mean, I guess I could go back to the quiz club and try to answer 7 to the like how many people tattered robes, whatever. I mean, he'll probably shoot me in the head, but I have a lot going for me, so it might as well happen, I suppose. So that is on the first floor? Yes, it is on the first floor. Give a logbook of touch face tabs you learned from Tech's outstanding debt. Yeah, but I mean, what's like a few $1,000,000 between friends or whatever? One of these days he's gonna become like super famous, and I'll be able to say to everyone, I think that guy is famous. And also, he owes me a very large sum of money. How many mannequins stand in the room? Yeah, I don't know this. I fear death. What date in January was the first Monday of 1847? Um, I don't know how to know that. I already tried using the date that was like the earliest. I mean, does one of those letters indicate what day of the week it is? For years. No. Am I behind a clock? Playing the Crimson Beast stalks these halls now, playing strange games and whispering horrible words. No. This feels like it feels like there should be like an actual thing to reference. I don't know what it is. According to your calendar, January 6th was a Wednesday. I mean, I realized that I could look it up, and it would be trivially easy to do so in the internet age, but there should be something in the game that tells me that. But I have no idea what it would be. I just don't. I mean, like, the most obvious things seem to be like the lunar phases, which I don't feel like provides me enough information. Or the letters. I mean, I don't believe I possess an almanac, do I? Like an insanely old almanac? This stuff is... Yeah, it's 63. It's too recent. I don't think that's anything. Yeah, it's true that there's no guarantee that, like, looking up the real world answer would like, they could just lie about it. It'd be a weird thing to do, but you could definitely do that. Where would I find information? Just like in general? I mean, I already like took book 1847 out of the library. I mean, I don't know for sure if I have all the books that I could have. This is kind of an issue. I understand what that gap is. I don't immediately know what that one is, to be honest with you. I know what that one is. This actually feels weird. This one feels like I should probably have this. It's a dental numerology. There's this thing that I still don't have, as far as I know, a way to use this, which could give me a day of the week, but only if I like. The moon cycles into 4, which became what we know as a week. Developed a horoscope by assigning them to the 7 classical planets. I mean, does one of these letters reference the moon? In the name of the moon, I will punish you? I don't know, man. I could just keep guessing, because it has to be 1 through 7 inclusive. Risk my life. 7 people tattered robes. I'm assuming it's the Third Eye folks who went on the mission? Yeah, okay. I'm not sure that I actually have the correct document I'm supposed to reference from that. Oh, good, it was worth $1. Well, it's my dollar and I earned it, so there. But then we have questions about Minotaurs and mannequins and something else. Still don't think I can answer. No, I forget. Would you like to know where that was? Sure. I mean, was I? I mean, there probably was a more overt reference than just the script page. The library? Meaning that there's like a book I don't have in the library? Oh, it's in the journal. Do I have what I'm supposed to need to open the journal? I'm just wandering around now. There's something else I want to do that's pointless. Actually, wait a minute. I should be able to open the journal, shouldn't I? It's not that hard to brute force the one that I don't know. I mean, it's not elegant or what have you. Do I have this? Life and time. Oh, I can't have it. I see. I do believe I have this. Most of the book is covered in red paint. Given the recurring themes of gambling, Nero's comments about cards in a 1960s interview comes as no surprise. Yeah, I have seen that. I do feel like I might be missing, like, legit missing a book from around here. Where are the red footprints here? That doesn't make sense to me. There shouldn't be an important date over there. Okay, hold on. Let me find the... So the first one is the one that I don't know, and it clears them every time, so that's good. Okay, here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna start with all black. This is 5, right? Yeah. So we'll start with all black, and then we do the right crescent is dark, and then we do right crescent is dark, and then we do halvesies with right is dark, and then we left light crescent. Okay. Then, what way do we want to do this? We'll bring the light from the east. So, light crescent, and then dark crescent, dark half. Okay. Then we'll do light half, and then we'll do right crescent, dark, halvesies, left crescent light. Okay. Then we have this much light. And then we do right crescent dark, halvesies. Okay. So then all light, right crescent dark, halvesies, left crescent light. Okay, so that's problematic because that is all possibilities. Photographic memory books. Lunar phases of 1847. The dates I need, I have them written here. So, January. Oh, I guess the point is that I don't know the correct last date, so it wouldn't necessarily be first. I had the one that I need to replace, I have first because I was using a date from the end of 1846 that I just have a letter for, similar to the way I have letters dated for January 6th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of 1847. I suppose I could make a educated sort of guess that 7 is the date missing from that range, and that I could put that in the second slot, which would be right crescent dark 3 times, and then 9th is halvesies, and then 10th is left crescent light. I mean, it's just as valid a guess as what I've just spent like 10 minutes doing. So okay. How do I get this last date? Like, I feel like I understand the premise of this puzzle, and I just need this information. I don't know where to get it from, and I hate it as a result. December 1962 is not going to be it. 6, 8, 9, 10. Does one of these reference another day? I arrived yesterday. So does that mean I should include the 5th as the last one? 5, 6, 8, 9, 10? What does that look like? It's the same, so that can't be it, because I've already put that in under another premise. I feel like the question, might I save you some time, operates under the false premise that I know whether the thing you're gonna say is both helpful and not a spoiler, which I just have no way of knowing that. Okay, let's do this. And I ask this as a reference to The Price is Right, which I hope that someone understands. Ladies, do I have at least 4 numbers right? No. Okay, then we're not doing this. Like, it seems insane to me that I wouldn't have 4 numbers right. Like, literally, I need like 5 dates from 1847 to input moon phases from to open this thing. I literally have 4 dates stacked here and like none anywhere else in the world. So like it makes no sense to me that that could be true. It's in another room. Brother, there is no other rooms. The only door locked to me is the revolver room. To which the game, I think, has given me absolutely no indication of how I would deal with it. Do you like a system for how you found Kofefe? I don't understand the nature of that question. Would you like gentle guidance like how we found the espresso? I think you and I remember the espresso incident very differently. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't seem to have something that would open the gun door. Like it says, I believe all of what Dev is saying is a trap designed to let him feed you the guide. I mean, this is the delicate balance with Demolition as a very helpful active member of chat, is if you start a puzzle game or play a puzzle game he's already known, like many people, he is very driven for us not to be stuck, which is sort of contrary to the nature of playing a puzzle game. It is a regrettable type of tension. Let me look at what's the deal with this. Has this done something for me? Like, I'm just pretty sure I don't have that. Where does this take me down to again? That's fair. Tell you what, let's yeah, like sometimes like you have to be willing to be stuck, which does admittedly make it a little difficult to commit to playing puzzle games on stream, because like for stream purposes you don't want to be stuck for a long time. So like I tend to be a little more willing to like get some type of guidance to move things forward, because I don't want us to be stuck forever. Or Hora Inst Undiga. The worst part about Hora Inst Undiga is like that was literally the first solution I came up with, and it doesn't mean anything, so I just discounted it immediately. Because it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Ooh-ah. E-H-O? What's Hora Inst Undigo reference to? Do you genuinely not know that, Neko? It's like the worst puzzle in Somnium Files 2. There's like a point where like you find like like some scribbled like raving that's like a bunch of like pairs of letters that I think makes a lot more sense in Japanese, but like in the localized version, it's just like a bunch of like pairs of letters. And then like somewhere you get like a clue that like directs you to like ping pong across the letters. And like the solution it gives you if you take it at face value is Hora Instundiga, which doesn't mean anything. And so like I was trying to figure out like different ways of like, okay, so if I take like the first letter from these following that pattern, or the second one, or I do this or that or whatever, but like the actual answer it wants you to give is Hora Instundiga. And then like if you give that, the character's like, of course, Hora Instundiga, the Horan Institute Underground. And I wanted to die because like, why would that mean? Why? How would you get that from there? You can't get there from here. The owl free puzzle, which was 10 hours before. There's a lot of bad stuff. I feel like we all, myself included, under appreciate how bad that like miserable puzzle was towards the end of Somnium Files 2, where like you're supposed to like use the locations of places where you found dead bodies to like pinpoint where like the climax of the game happens, but like the only way you can solve it is by like arbitrarily discounting like almost like a third of all the relevant locations for no adequately explained reason. And they're like, well, if you do that, then of course it's here at the stadium. And you're like, why do you do that though? There's nothing that tells me to just ignore a bunch of important things. Remember to scare a cat under the fence while having duct tape above it to get your fake mustache. Listen, I feel like that mischaracterizes the horrific puzzle you're referencing from a game I've never played. Because that in and of itself isn't like the worst. There's a very similar puzzle in Day of the Tentacle that makes sense. Where you like paint a fence white and scare a cat under it so it looks like a skunk because it will frighten some people away. Like, that's intuitive enough. The fault in that puzzle is that you're trying to get a fake mustache because you draw a fake mustache on an ID you're trying to look like. So you're trying to look like something that you fabricated in the first place, which doesn't make any sense. So, like, this is a thing I've been, like, unable to do for eternity. Obviously, we're looking at some Greek letters, and each one of them is meant to be categorized by hexadecimal? Yeah, I don't think we're close to understanding what's going on here. Anime says, well, I'll be honest, during that part we distracted you, and the game implies you should focus on the murders the actual villain did and ignore Tokiko's body. But, like, I don't know. Maybe if I was, like, revisiting that, like, in the moment and, like, focused on it, it would make sense, but it feels so arbitrary. And I really remember the game just sort of framing it like, you know, where were the dead bodies? And there's, like, a bunch of locations where you find dead bodies because... spoiler, I guess, in that game you find halves of bodies. It's part of the whole deal of that game. So you find like twice as many halves of bodies as there are victims. It's a lot of dead bodies to find. And it just like I don't know. I feel like there was a lot going on at that part of the game that like felt both forced and rushed, and like that puzzle is like a great, it just like really exemplifies the issue of just like the thing is like the game has this big stupid twist that I won't spoil. It's horrible. If you want, you can go watch it. Like I did a whole playthrough, other people have done it. You can spend like $4 US and get both games in the series. They're on sale somewhere. I was talking about it earlier. But like there's like a big twist in the second game that's abysmal. It like rivals Zero Time Dilemma, which is arguably the worst twist I've ever seen in anything. I will say that Somnium Files 2 is very close. It's distressingly close. But like there's a point where like there's this big reveal of the twist and it sucks. It's so bad. And then the game tries so desperately hard to make you think, to be like, see, isn't it clever that I did this thing that doesn't make any sense and adds no value to the story? And like literally involves us like misleading you about like the very nature of reality? Isn't that cool? Somnium Files 2 or Raincoat, which did you enjoy less? That's actually a really good question, and I don't think it's close. I think ultimately Raincoat is worse for a variety of reasons. Despite the fact that I dislike a large number of Somnium Files characters, and they like assassinated one of my favorite characters in a figurative way very badly in Somnium Files 2, like it still has a level of funness that comes from even the worst Uchikoshi project. Whereas like Raincoat fell off a cliff pretty hard somewhere between like a third and halfway through and just like offered very little after that. It's just like it just kept compounding its problems and extending its duration. Who's your favorite? No, Amame Doi, the mermaid who was gifted legs and feet to serve Poseidon and gather foreign currencies. I was so excited she was in the second game, and they do her so dirty in that game. They do her so bad. Easily enjoyed Raincoat significantly less than Somnium Files 2, which is quite the achievement. Yeah, I mean, if Neko says it, I really don't think it's close. I don't understand what is going on with these Greek letters. What is that second one? What letters does that translate to? The top one's O and the last one's E. I mean, is that just an N? I feel like it's relevant for me to like understand, but like I just don't. Ooh, here's a really distressing prospect. There's something about like I'm supposed to know how many like minotaurs are how many statues are by the minotaur under a maze. Purely in terms of enjoyment, do you have a game you didn't enjoy worse than Raincoat? Let me read that again. Purely in terms of enjoyment, do you have a game you didn't enjoy worse than Raincoat? Do you mean like it disappointed more significantly than Raincoat? Is that what that specific phrasing means? It's a game that sparks less joy than Raincoat. I mean, Zero Time Dilemma is the most disappointing video game to exist by such an incredible margin. Like, nothing will come close. Like, Zero Time Dilemma in and of itself is a mediocre game. But it does have probably like the worst narrative twist in anything I've ever seen. And it takes all of the narrative promises generated by like one of my favorite games of all time and just says like, nah. Feel sad for not being in the community when you did it. You're mistaken. I've not done it on stream. We haven't done it yet. We played 999 like 2 years ago. We haven't done Virtue's Last Reward. It is like a 40+ hour game. And then Zero Time Dilemma is like half as long, maybe a little longer than that. It is like not nearly as long as Virtue's Last Reward. Which in some ways probably contributes to why it's bad, but also doesn't. For sure doesn't. It's frustrating. I just don't understand what I'm supposed to do with the pieces I have left. There have been many times in this game where I felt like I had run out of, like, narrative and puzzle hooks and, like, figured something out. And I'm, like, really not there. No, I mean, so like, Zero Time Dilemma came out, like, 2 days before my birthday, like the first or second time that my parents and I did Vegas for my birthday as like a summer trip. And like I had a whole thing where I like pre-ordered it from Amazon and they like didn't ship it on time, and like there was like massive delays because they like goofed up something with their shipments. So I have two copies of this game that I don't like. I have a physical and a digital. I don't know. I actually sold a bunch of games before I left California. There's a chance I sold. I think I still have it. Um, and like I remember like playing it during that trip and just like getting increasingly upset about it. So we have like astrological like horoscope signs here, and they correspond to Roman numerals? Like in what way? For unknown reasons, your dad really wants to go to Vegas and the Hoover Dam. I mean, I've never been to the Hoover Dam. It doesn't strike me as like a super interesting destination, but you know, everyone has their own stuff. There's so many more ones. Wait, what is happening here? MDCC 17. XC? 8. So 90? So like 1790, 98? I have no idea how to read this thing. It feels like something that by now I should know how to interact with, and I don't. I'm gonna double check this stack. Do I have all of these? I certainly have bolt numbers. Do I have timekeeping systems? Yeah, that's where this thing is written. 1847. Apparently I have to remember for the future that the clock is 5 minutes late. I don't know if that's only for solving that one puzzle or something. As a treat for yourself, I suggest buying an analog clock. Why? That sounds awful. Digital clocks are superior. That's why I don't know how to use analog clocks. That's my only excuse, is that I just have no interest in learning them. One day you want a grandfather clock? Well, unfortunately, you already have grandparents, and I assume neither of them is a clock. Uh, Find the ticking of analog clocks therapeutic. I'll give you that, although at the same time, they can be like really ominous. And like sometimes you don't choose when that transition happens. Sometimes like the circumstances of life just make the being aware of the passing of time really ominous. Oh, okay. I'm stupid. I don't need to do anything else in this room. I just took a completely educated guess about the clock based on that thing in the book, but the pool balls that are missing are supposed to tell me what year to put in the clock. So that's fine. That's resolved. I don't think there's anything else to do here either. Both sets do. Your granddad has a huge collection of clocks, which is a very old man thing. Your grandma on your mom's side has a grandfather clock in her house. It doesn't work, but you have a chance to get it. Well, to be clear, I said neither of your parents was a grandfather clock, which I think is probably still true. But like, yeah, I mean, fingers crossed that the grandfather clock makes its way to you, and we won't talk further about the implications of what that means. Anything happened here in the kitchen yet? I think nothing has ever happened here, nor will it. I think this room actually serves no purpose, and it makes me upset that that is potentially true. It sounds bad in the fridge or whatever. also kind of feels looking at this from a distance like I should have to put some like big circular thing on the bottom of this to make it work. How would this work? I feel like I must not have the cipher to this puzzle. It just doesn't make any sense. No, it's the camera moving. Is the implication that the clock would be your grandfather? Because your grandparents also weren't great, so you'd take it. Yeah, I mean, that was the original implication. The implication I was talking about a moment ago is that hoping you would get the grandfather clock means that something would presumably happen to your grandmother, who you mentioned having the grandfather clock. I need some kind of item. Is it a laser eye? Is it tampons? Is it that cross key I used to get in here? I'm pretty sure I've tried. Is it a VHS tape of an artist? Is it an off-brand Game Boy? Is it 40? Nope. No, we already tried tampon. It's not that. Is it $40 US? No. I need that last key, but having the last key also doesn't do anything. I'm so stuck. I'm so stuck. I'm like really stuck now. Just like none of the things I can think of do anything. Like I'm not remotely close to the orangery keypad. Can't do the puzzle box because I can't get the key, and I can't get the key because I can't answer any of the questions left in the quiz club. I don't have an item for the revolver door. Can't get to the center of the quiz club for the same reason. Can't unlock 1953 for the same reason. Supercomputer, I feel like is endgame, and I definitely don't have everything there yet. 3 graves by the mausoleum. I could solve the puzzle if I had whatever item is required. I like literally have a solution written down based on the prompt on the mausoleum door. Unlock the maze center gate? Like I don't know what to do there. I don't have numbers for Greek letters. Find the center of the maze. That's the same. That's literally the same problem. Help the old woman see. That's like end game, probably. Or maybe that actually. Maybe the old woman sees after I get all the clues out of her eyes. That could advance the plot, but that would still involve me being able to answer those questions about like behind the revolver door or like the Minotaur statues or whatever. Unlock the journal. Also, apparently not close to doing it all. And the astronomical clock, which I've just demonstrated that I'm done. I'm tapped. What? Like where even would I go? At least the room that I can't get into, the like 1953 door, is like very easy to navigate to for whenever that happens, which it won't. To be clear, it won't. This courtyard was the clues for the bust puzzle. Really? I mean, I realized these were the same figures, but they didn't have names, right? I feel like I was more likely to solve it using the path that we took. But, like, I think I see what you mean. Like, if you couldn't figure out the characters or whatever. Which one is this? This is 16? I think this is one of the only ones I haven't done. Which one is 16? It must be bad. Oh, yeah. This one's not good. Hmm. Side note about playing this game. You now know Roman numerals better. False. You can't make me. Also, I maintain that this puzzle must not have anything to do with Roman numerals because it doesn't make any sense for that to be true. Hey, Demolition, you really wanted to give me a clue for this one, like a while ago. I don't think I've ever cared about having this door open other than having this puzzle complete. You still feel like saying whatever you wanted to say about this? V plus L. Gotta think about the right angle to solve this one. Oh. So it's 90 then? Yeah, that's not something that I think I would try without prompting. Yeah, I don't feel bad about that. That's really obtuse. Got an achievement that I don't deserve. That's a terrible shortcut. It just like doesn't do anything. It was 9. Okay, so if you look at the, was it 16? It's suggesting that V plus L is 135 because you add the angle of L, which is 90, with the angle of V, which is 45. And then using that information, if you figure that out, then the angle of L is like a much more obvious thing to do. Right, Critchwitch? Like, I'm not getting there with that song basically being like, a pocket watch, a pocket watch, a pocket watch. Puzzles are always so obtuse. Yeah, I would say consistently, probably my least favorite stuff in this game comes from the shortcut book, which in the scheme of things is actually fine in the sense that, like, they're optional. But, like, some of the shortcuts are extremely helpful, so it's still a little bit annoying. And, like, even if I was inclined to want to put optional bonus hard puzzles in, I'm not sure I would choose to do it that way, but that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. I think the game wins. I got nothing. Yeah, let's try one of these for fun. Let's see. That wasn't it. Get it? Because L plus V is greater than 90 degrees. I did understand that that was possibly what you were going for, but I wasn't sure if that's actually what you were going for. There's some serious brain teasers, but I think it requires you to To beat or have a certain thing that maybe my brain isn't in general elastic enough for. Here's what I would argue about that in your and my defense, Crit Twitch, is that like these puzzles, when you're given the context of what you're trying to do, aren't particularly hard for the most part. There are very few of these that are challenging beyond that point of just like figuring out what to do. But like I feel like the context in which the game puts these puzzles makes it like deliberately difficult to even understand what it wants you to do a lot of the time. So it all comes down to if you understand what it's asking you, and if you don't, you're just not going to get there, because they go out of their way to give you like no context, because the only challenging part of it is figuring out what the context is most of the time. Yeah, Neko like dialed into the square thing like immediately. That was, I get that. I don't know which, I was scrolling through a bunch, but I'm not sure which one you were referring to, Demolition, that like hung you up. And I know the numbers are different from whatever you experienced. Number 11. Oh, number 11 sucked. I hate number 11. It would be more fun as a group activity. That, I settled on that eventually as well. Like, I generally, even being a streamer, when I do puzzle games, I'm like, no, I want to solve the puzzle. Shut up. But like after like several of them in a row were just like making me mad, I'm like, they're optional and I don't care. Let's figure out what it is. It is weird how good the music in this game is when there's like basically no music in it. In fact, what's also funny is I think the scenes that most prominently feature music have like the least good music in the game. Guess we're here. What are we at? 87.4. That's not quite as much as I wanted to get done, I'll be honest. But I got nothing. Everyone's homework is to figure out like where we're even supposed to go next. If we could narrow it down to that, maybe that would be enough for us to figure out what to do. But like, God, I just have nothing. Like, what's frustrating in this moment is that like it's not just that it's not that I've run out of like keys or locks. It's that I have a bunch of keys I can't use, and I have a bunch of locks I have no keys for. The bathroom to poop is always your first choice. I know when you're steps away. I don't think that's true. I mean, I can't figure out the fact that it says 1847 on the ground after you already plug 1847 to the wall feels suspicious, but I don't know how to translate that into 16 digits. I also like, I don't know. Bonus points if you find a good bathroom donut. There wasn't like a black magic bathroom option. I mean, I have both. So like I have all the like laser eye symbols, which like mostly don't look like anything to me. That I haven't used. I'm pretty sure I've deciphered the username for the supercomputer, which isn't helpful because it's only one of three pieces that all have to be used together. I have the left and right directions from the two VHS tapes, but like I have no idea what to do with those. Like I can't tell you how badly I want to be able to like complete the red maze. It's just been sitting there for like most of the game. Like the only thing I have to do is like figure out the Greek letters and then I can open that gate and then like solve like a basic puzzle, like a basic like actual jigsaw puzzle. And then I'll like cross like three things off my to-do list all at once or something. I don't know. Everyone sleep on it and we'll figure this out tomorrow, hopefully. Um Wilmot. Hey, I saw the Game Grumps posted gameplay from a Wilmot game that wasn't the same one my sister played. Is that a series of weird puzzle games? I had never heard of it until you like recommended it to her. That was the first one. Oh, okay. It's interesting. Anyway, before we all go to bed and try to think real hard about Greek letters or directions or something, look what I have. It's a room full of things. Well, I didn't move that one Squirtle, huh? Don't worry about that. See your Squirtle behind joyous coughing. What a good friend coughing is. Pikachu guess. Any guess from you, Crew Twitch, or anyone else hanging out? No, it's not as good and too stressful. I haven't watched that video. I wasn't sure if I should. It's a Fox Squish Mountain. It's not. It hasn't. I haven't put it out a ton. I got it sometime within the last year. It's not super old, but yeah, I got some theming going on. And Carlos, great, excellent guess. Okay, so let's. I mean, two of these are like right here, so I'm gonna go pick out demolitions first. Yeah, at some point when I was setting up, I noticed that you could definitely see that Squirtle there, and I thought I remembered to fix it, and I didn't. I was having some issues with OBS that were like really random. It just like I pressed like one button on the Stream Deck, and it like practically like crashed OBS for no reason, and then like that was right around the time I noticed it, and I clearly just forgot to do it. Okay, so Pikachu sitting on top of something, which looks suspiciously Squirtle-esque. Carlos, I'm afraid, is hanging out with a tiny pirate. Hans the Porky Pirate, in fact. Who is not a Squirtle, but I mean, look at him. He's a good guy. And, coughing? Well, I thought I could do that in a more fun, dramatic way. Squirtle hanging out here. I put together something of a color theme and made it so if there was a match between characters in the same area, they would have a Squirtle. So we had two purple guys coughing, and Bravo, the Valentine's hamster, they had a Squirtle. The Santa folks on the top row have Squirtles. Are like food lizard creatures on the second row do. And then just for fun, the bottom row of the shelf is all foxes, and they all have Squirtles. And nothing on the couch does, because nothing over there matches. That's so many Squirtles. I've been putting more out there. Because there have been relatively few people showing up to the Lorelei streams, then not many have been found. But yeah, that'll do it for the stream. I really kind of wanted to get a win there at the end, but I ended up just wasting like 20 minutes of everyone's life. So I hope you appreciated that, but sincerely, I hope you're enjoying Lorelei. I know it's a bit of a weird one in terms of like watching it on stream, but like I think it's a really interesting game. I really do. I am extremely stuck. It is a problem. You like the shirt? I like the shirt too. Uh, I brought this to my parents' house over the Christmas break and was intending to wear it if we went to a theme park, but then it ended up being like a warmer day than I expected. I was like, I don't want to sweat through my nice like Van Gogh Wally shirt. Really like Lorelai when story time happened. 99% of the time, you're just staring at a weird number. I thought you were into staring at weird numbers, Neko. You just said you wanted to have a grandfather clock. Isn't that what that's for? All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. If it happens to be tomorrow, we're going to play some more Lorelei. We may or may not just have Demolition tell us where to go. Hopefully that's not the case. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and remember that you are Clawsome.